It's a pleasure to serve under your chairmanship. It's an absolute honour to represent the constituency of Sherwood Forest, the home of beautiful countryside, communities, villages, towns and farms. And no matter where in the world you go, people know about the wonder of Sherwood Forest. It is one of the most recognisable places in the world. Sherwood Forest has often been associated with Robin Hood, a legendary, heroic outlaw, known for his highly skilled archery. Yes.
About Robin Hood. I wonder if she'd join me in celebrating also the legacy of former Mansfield Woodhouse resident Major Hayman Rook, who discovered and is associated with the major oak tree in Sherwood Forest. And I'm sure she's also aware that the tree, which was named in his honour, is believed to have been that legendary hiding place of Robin Hood and his merry men.
Thank you, and I welcome his contribution. I know he's going to be involved in Sherwood Forest Day, and actually 20th of February, which is Sherwood Forest Day, is named after exactly that. And without showing my age too much, Chairman, I can actually remember a time when you could climb on the major oak. Now you can't get within 20 feet of it. Sherwood Forest... The magic of Sherwood Forest is not lost on Hollywood. From Disney to Kevin Costner, many blockbuster films have been made about the legendary figure and the historic forest he lives in. Yet this magic has been lost somehow in Nottinghamshire, or at least partly forgotten. As a child growing up in Nottinghamshire, you are surrounded by the magic, the tales, the powerful stories of courage, fairness and community that have been growing here for centuries. I remember distinctively going as a family, school trips and youth clubs to areas across Nottinghamshire, including Sherwood Forest. From Robin Hood to today's volunteers, Sherwood Forest has always stood up for what's right. Yet I fear we are beginning to lose exactly what it is we stand for. Over the last 14 years, communities in Sherwood Forest have been left behind. Communities that once served their country and contributed to the industrial strength of the UK have been left with deteriorating health and economic outcomes. It's time to say no more. In just over a week's time, on February the 20th of February, we will celebrate the second truly special Sherwood Forest Day. This is a day to honour our world-famous historic forest, its ancient oaks and the legacy of courage, fairness and community. Throughout the day, across Nottinghamshire, a number of events will be taking place to celebrate, including a business breakfast in the heart of Sherwood Forest, bringing together the fantastic businesses across Sherwood Forest, numerous plaque unveilings to mark key areas and tree planting to continue the legacy of the ancient forests. There's an opportunity to celebrate our great history and local culture, about pride in our communities and working together to build a better future. I've heard that some of the trees being planted are even descendants from ancient oaks themselves.
As one who's brought up, and I'm old, I'm probably the oldest person in this chamber, I can well remember Robin Hood on TV in black and white, and that wasn't yesterday. So I'm really quite impressed by the Honourable Lady and putting forward for her beautiful constituency. And hailing, as I do, from Strangford, and which I think is unparalleled beauty, I do believe the Honourable Lady does not literally not agree that for tourism to take off, funding is needed for promotion. And the Minister who's here, and a very sympathetic Minister, by the way, government can and must do more to put money into getting visitors across the threshold of the United Kingdom, knowing that if they come once, they'll come back again. And surely that has to be a good policy to follow.
Thank you for your contribution. Sherwood Forest Day is an opportunity for communities across Nottinghamshire to reflect on our heritage and celebrate what brings us together. I want to give a huge thank you to the Sherwood Forest Trust and Richard Townsley, the medieval Sheriff of Nottingham, for all the work they are doing at Sherwood Forest Day and for our community as a whole. At the heart of all we are doing for Sherwood Forest Day is communities such as Ollerton, Edwinstowe, Blynyth, Rainworth and Clipston, to put them back on the map and encourage for those from all over the world to visit and marvel at what we have to offer. But we cannot do it alone. Celebrating our culture and history should not be left to only one day of the year, but should be honoured every single day. I will.
Thank you very much for giving way and for bringing this debate to the Chamber today. As she knows, the Mayor of the East Midlands, Claire Ward, has put the visitor economy at the heart of her vision for the East Midlands region, and she may be aware that the Centre of It All marketing campaign launched last week. Does she agree with me that Sherwood Forest, and the Trent Sports Quarter, which would be based in my constituency of Rushcliffe, have the opportunity to grow our visitor economy to the £1 billion target that Clare Ward has set.
Thank you, and I thank my honourable member for his contribution. And he is right, the Mayor of the East Midlands, Clare Ward, is forever supportive of our tourism, and like us knows there's still a lot more work to be done as well. There are many factors that go into supporting a thriving tourism economy, most notable for rural areas such as Sherwood Forest, adequate transport, support for business and community investment. Transport in rural areas such as Sherwood Forest and the more historic Sherwood Forest is actually inadequate. Often public transport is not consistent, buses do not run in the evening, or sometimes not at all. There is even a railway line named after Robin Hood that does not serve the majority of historic Sherwood Forest. How can we expect people to come and visit this historic land if they cannot access it? Not only people coming from far and wide, but for those who this is on their doorstep.
Thank you, Chair, and thank my honourable friend for giving way. Our green spaces are so vitally important, but not for our just environment, for our mental health, but economic benefits that they bring to our communities. And actually having rail access to our communities is super important. My constituency of North West Leicestershire is not too far away from Sherwood Forest. It's home to the National Forest. And it's so easy accessible, like Sherwood, to about 10 million people. Does my honourable friend agree with me that the East Midlands needs to capitalise on the tourism potential of all of its forests, including in Leicestershire and Nottinghamshire?
Yes, and exactly that. Thank you, honourable friend, for making such a contribution. Of course, yes, it is very, very important. It's important that as MPs across the East Midlands we continue to work together with regards to this. I'd be interested in hearing from the Minister what work is being done in partnership with the Department of Transport and the East Midlands Combined Authority to ensure places of heritage importance are connected and accessible. When you talk about the community of Sherwood Forest, you cannot forget to mention the bond of coal mining that for so long was the lifeblood of our economy. From the Hucknall Colliery in the south to Ollerton Colliery in the north, the roots of mining are deep in Sherwood Forest. That's why I'm so proud that this government stuck to its promise to release funds from the Mine Workers Pension Scheme to its members and went further and did the same for the British Coal Supernation Scheme. This is the rightful release of funds. It means a combined additional 11 million a year that has been spent in our towns and villages, in our local shops, in our local pubs. The current magic of Sherwood Forest is being wielded by local businesses such as Robinstead in Edwinstowe, who fight day in, day out to keep stories alive, whilst also facing the challenges of being a small business. I believe that if we can shine a light on the history of Sherwood Forest and encourage more young people to learn about the stories, they will be inspired to add their own twists. If we invest in our local businesses for tourism, young people across Sherwood Forest will benefit by believing in the magic and having access to more work opportunities in their own communities. Finally, on community investment, I'm proud that this government is investing in communities neglected by the previous Conservative government. We are making real changes to people's lives by funding more breakfast clubs, new school and expanding healthcare into communities. The government, in partnership with the Labour Mayor Clare Ward, have provided over £31 million to fund the A614 improvements projects to create a corridor of hope where our past meets our future. This as well as £30 million for the regeneration of Ollerton Town Centre, which has been achieved through working with Labour councillors and the Labour-run Newark and Sherwood District Council. Pride for where you live is not always guaranteed. It comes when everyone is investing their time and their money into improving their community. I hope that what we are doing on Sherwood Forest Day will be an opportunity for people in Nottinghamshire to be really proud. I'd also like to see more investment into parts of community which were often seen as nice to have and not as key infrastructure and central to people living happy lives. Sherwood Forest will simply not be what it was today if it was not for our local small businesses, the village pubs and the farms, a key part of our rural economy, providing opportunities and enjoyment to our people. Sherwood Forest is not simply the home of Robin Hood, but it's the home of numerous historic sites such as Wyburn Park, which once inspired Lord Byron's work, and Thoresby Park, a beautiful country estate, and Rufford Abbey Country Park, which has recently reopened following a conservation project. I was honoured to visit the site on Saturday and learn more about the work to preserve this park, which has been so important to me growing up in Nottinghamshire. Investment into landmarks like these is investment into the whole community by creating more job opportunities, supporting local shops and restaurants and helping us to conserve our heritage assets. From our cultural heritage sites such such as Newstead Abbey, to Clumber Park, to modern attractions such as Centre Parks, Sherwood Pines, and who can forget my son's favourite place to go, Willgate and White Post Farm. Sherwood Forest really is the place to visit. I know I do not have to tell the Minister the importance of culture and heritage to communities, but I wonder if they could expand on what this government is doing to protect and invest in our cultural assets, particularly in Sherwood Forest. As we approach Sherwood Forest Day, I'd like to take this opportunity to urge everyone, whether you live locally or are visiting for the first time, to join us in Nottinghamshire, a jewel in our nation's crown. Celebrate our history, help us protect our future, be part of Sherwood Forest Day or every day after. The people of Sherwood Forest have a proud history of standing up for what is right and for each other. Despite the attempts of some to divide us, it is truer now than it has ever been. We are more in common than what divides us.
The question is that this House has considered